real quickly, what's already in the pot, which you did not see me throw in there, are the carrots, a couple of onions, so I think you can see, and this is the white onion tip, and the tops was the chive or scallion or whatever. Either way, to me, just gives extra flavor. This right here is the top to fennel. If you ever see the fennel bulb, where is it? If you ever buy fresh fennel or haven't, this is what it looks like. And in my broth, I like to use the bulb part and the leaf part. To me, it just adds more flavor to it. I also want to throw in there a couple of pieces of old pepper that I already have from another recipe. That anyway, I want to use the rest of the peppers before I cut any new peppers. So I'll put the green peppers in there. This is not normally in my broth. This is a chocolate pepper, but since I have it left over from my chili, I'm gonna throw it in there too. I mean, your stock, vegetable stock is basically whatever you want to put in there. This is a piece of fennel that I had from the chili. A lot of the stuff is not, a basic stock really could just be carrots, celery, onions, garlic, but I like to add more flavor to mine, so I'm going to go ahead. And I also put the whole chunks in it because I don't use the chunks anyway. I just strain it and just use the liquid. So I'm going to go ahead and put some more onion in it and the top of the fennel. And mind you, this stuff is already clean because, like I said, some of the stuff is left over from the chili. Make sure you wash everything really, really good. This is a red onion. See, this is full of flavor. This is more green pepper. So we're going to get that and some more onion. I believe I'm going to put one more carrot in it. I really don't measure. I just, whatever I feel like doing at the time is what I do. I wash another carrot. I cut off the tip and I washed it really well. Just going to crack it in half. Throw that in there. I'm going to grab some more fennel. This is fresh sage. When I do my stock, I like to use fresh ingredients as much as possible. If you don't have fresh ingredients, you can still use whatever's in your cabinet. Because I don't have fresh tarragon, so I'm going to have to use whatever's in my cabinet. Hopefully I have some left. But this is fresh sage, so I'm going to throw that in there. I'm actually going to throw more than it in there. If you're wondering, I believe, I didn't measure the water, but probably about 4 or 5. When I made my stock, I made big pots because it's normally for a couple of dishes. Like right now, I'm using this stock. I'm going to end up making, stuffing, and I'm also going to make some mixed greens. So I'm going to put some more sage in there. I use the stems and all. Flavor for me. This is oregano. This is rosemary. And no, I'm not a professional cook. And yes, I do cook with my hands and my fingers. They are clean. I do wash them. I know in most of the restaurants this would be a no-no, but I'm a home cook. And home cooks, your utensils most of the time with your fingers. So, yeah. So I'm going to take some of this, throw that in there, and that's for my fresh herbs. Now it's for my dry herbs in the cabinet, whatever I have in here that I couldn't buy fresh. But like I said, I love garlic and onions, so we're going to go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I hope I counted that right, and I'm actually going to put a few more in because it's a big pot. To me, mushrooms go bad really fast, so if I don't use it that day, I freeze them. And they last a lot longer that way. I just go ahead and freeze them. Because most of the recipes I use them in, I don't really need the texture, I just need the flavor. So, or the texture is going to be soft anyway. Like if I make a Swiss mushroom veggie burger, I really need just the flavor of the mushroom. So I'm going to wash a few more and throw them in the pot too. And yes, like I said, I throw everything in there whole. Find it fresh. I have to use what I got. I have to use what I got in the cabinet. So I couldn't find any fresh thyme at the produce place. So this is all I got left. And I'm going to just throw that in there. And even though I'm making stuffing, I'm going to throw this into the broth because the broth will actually, if the broth is flavored correctly, you won't need a whole bunch of extra seasoning in the stuffing. So I'm going to throw turmeric, not much. Like I said, this is my vegetable stock. So, you know, when you make yours, you don't have to do as much as I do. You can always cut down. Like I said, the basic ingredients are just some fresh herbs, onions, garlic powder, mushroom, carrots. It's really up to you. But this is how I do my vegetable stock. So I have some ground turmeric. It's kind of hard to find fresh turmeric in Florida. Not over here as much as I did a dash of that. And again, like I said, you don't have to do all this. This is the way that I do mine. And I'm almost out, so I'm going to need to get some more paprika. Yeah, I'm almost out of tarragon. But whatever I have left, I'm going to put in here because tarragon is actually, if not my most favorite, I believe, no, I'm going to go ahead and say tarragon is my most favorite herb. I put that in almost everything too. If you're using a smaller pan, then don't put it all the way on max. Put it like the medium or medium high and let it boil. Then cover it and let it simmer. How could I forget my celery? That's like one of the main ingredients in a basic in the basic stock. So this is fresh cleaners. I'm gonna throw them in there. Now I have been told that I do way too much in my stock, but when people eat the dishes that I make with my stock, I never get a complaint. So, you know, it's up to you if you want to go out and do all this or not. I'm gonna add honey. You don't have to add this particular brand of honey, but this particular brand of honey is my favorite. It's locally grown in Florida, and honestly, I just love it. It has become my favorite. So I'm not gonna add too much honey. So I'm going to add sugar. So I'm gonna add some honey. If you wonder why the jar look like this, it's because I keep my honey in the refrigerator. Don't ask me why. I just do. Just like it. So all I want now these next couple of steps that I do. If you're diabetic or if you're watching your salt intake, sugar intake, you can totally skip it and you can add your salt, your sugar, and all that, and whatever dish you're making outside of it, and leave it totally like it is. But I'm gonna go ahead and add what I normally add to mine. This is a sample salt case. This is $11.99 at Whole Foods, but I like it because it has different types of specialty salts and salts that are really good for you. All of these salts are not processed. It still has all the original. So I'm gonna throw a little bit of that in there. You don't have to do that. I just do that. And I'm going to do the Himalayan salt because that's actually one of the really, really good sauces for you. And that's it. I'll wait till it boils, and then I'm going to cover it and let it simmer for at least a good hour, hour and a half. She's doing a pear apple, possibly pecan stuffing. And I say possibly because I haven't opened the pecans yet, and lately I've been having weird allergy reactions to nuts. So if I open a pecan and eat one and I don't have reaction, then it'll be pecans in the stuffing. If not, then it won't. For right now, for what's in this pot, in case you're wondering, I took at 1 apple, 1 pear. Well, I should say my husband, because he decided to help me with the stuffing. He took 1 apple, 1 pear, and he cut it down. You can see he cut it down for me in the food processor. And actually, some of the vegetables out of that broth, I took and blended up in a food processor. I took some of the vegetables, some of the herbs, blended in the food processor. That's why the top of this look like baby food. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add butter to it. I added the rest of the butter from this one. And yes, I like my stuffing very buttery. And as you see, I don't know if you can see that, I already cut up my bread. I don't use croutons or any of that in my bread. What I do is throughout the year, whatever bread we have, mostly the ends of the bread we save, or every bread that we haven't eaten in a while that we think is getting old, we freeze it. So we freeze the bread, and when we get ready to make stuffing, we take that bread out the freezer, and we just rip it up, and once it defrosts, we rip it up, and that's what we use for stuffing. So in this is honey wheat bread, white bread, sourdough buns. It's a whole bunch of different breads in here. I can't even remember all of them. But whatever we don't use, like I said, we freeze. And whenever we get ready to make stuffing, that's the bread we use for stuffing. We don't go out and buy extra bread for stuffing. It's whatever we have left. You know, waste not, want not. That's what we say. So right now I'm putting butter in the pan. I hope y'all can see this. I'm putting butter in the pan, which I'm going to start off with about, I need some butter I'm going to need a little bit of butter for the greens. So I'm not going to do all this. So basically I did a whole container of butter because the other container had a half a container of butter left. And I did a little bit more than half of this one. You can see that. Where's the camera? I did a little more than half of the butter out of this one. This is the Earth Balance butter. The other one was the soy free, which is the one that the other one was the soy free. Now I'm just going to break this down in here. Hopefully you can see that. Great. Why aren't you grading? There we go. Stick on my carrot. And this is a really big carrot, so I think I'm going to stop right there. So clean, people. Let's clean these vegetables. And I'm going to grate that down, too. And you can chop it up or whatever, but I like mine grated. Now I'm gonna get an onion and some more garlic, and I'm gonna cut it up, and I'm gonna come back. Okay, I have the onion and garlic cut up. I did half the onion and about 3 more cloves of garlic. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just mix it in so that butter can start to melt. And the only other herb I'm putting in here is just a little bit more sage because I love that sage flavor. But I'm not going to use fresh sage. I'm going to use the dry sage that I have in the cabinet. Look at that. And then after that, once the butter melts a little bit more, I'm going to add the vegetable stock. And then I'm going to pour it in. I'm just going to add just a little bit more sage and some pepper. So do need a little bit more salt and pepper. Now I have my vegetable stock, which has already been strained. This is about, this is 2 cups. This whole thing, if you total to the top, is 3 cups. So this is actually a little bit over 2 cups. For those that measure, I hope that helps. I'll put that in there. And I know you're probably saying she's not using a whole bunch of that stock in there. Actually, the majority of my stock is going to have to go into my greens. So, and there we go. I'm just going to pour this in here, and depending on how hot it is, depends on whether I'm going to use my hands to mix it or I'm going to start mixing it with the spatula first. Okay. Pour something at the other end. And let's try to get that started mixed in. Okay guys, this is what it looks like before I put it in the oven. What I'm going to do now is just wrap it up with some foil. This is it. And I don't want my mixture too wet or too moist. I want it just enough where the bread is moist but not overly wet. Aluminum, whatever. I'm going to cover it. And I'm going to place it in the oven and let it cook for about 45 minutes. And when it's done, I'll take it out and show you guys. Stuffing. This is the stuffing freshly done. And as my husband just agreed to, I'm actually going to make some cream chiff beef for the gravy to go over top of the stuffing. So you'll be seeing another video soon. Stay blessed and be a blessing. Take care. See you soon.